Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. My friends, I hope the day finds you well because we are going to be diving in to an Innistrad Crimson Vow pre-release kit. Now, I've been given early access to this courtesy of the people over at Phoenix Rising Games, so thanks very much for that. These will be available, obviously, for pre-release weekend, which is coming up this weekend on Friday. I'm super stoked because I don't know how it is in your part of the world, but where I am right now, I'm finally going to be able to go to a pre-release and play in it. So, this weekend, I'm going to get to enjoy an Innistrad Crimson Vow pre-release. So, in anticipation of that, let us enjoy the flavor. Oh, look at you, Mr. Dreamboat. Who wants to give Papa a kiss? Look at that. All right, this is a pretty good looking kit. Okay, what's okay, weird. The dice is all the way up here now. They used to be kind of tucked down closer to the bottom. That's a different change. And you got a little symbol there. Look at that. He's a little bat. Okay, not too shabby. So what else do we have in here? What else do we have in this kit? All right, that's good. Put that over there. Oh, look at this. Hey, oh, dude, look at that. That looks awesome. That is really nice artwork. I love the little inserts that they put in the pre-release kits because they exist for flavor purposes. On this side, you can see the binding vows, and it's like, we actually talked about this. This is like a smaller version of that bigger poster, and you've got Sigarda here in the middle, and Olivia and Edgar down here. That's great. And then on the other side, they have instructions for anybody who hasn't been to a pre-release about how to build your pre-release deck. So I gotta say, I like the way they put these kits together. Moving on, what do we got? Oh, look at that promo! Oh, look at that promo, yo! It is a promo dig up. Oh, there's multiple things in here. A foil promo dig up. That is not a shabby card at all, right? Hold on, let's get this out of its outer wrapping here. So, dig up. 1 green for a sorcery, cleave for 1 green, 2 black, and 1. And if you just pay 1 green, then you search your deck for a basic land card, put it into your hand after revealing it, and then shuffle. But if you play the cleave cost, you straight up just tutor for whatever you want with this card. So this is a pretty strong card, and a great card to be getting as a promo. Are you hungry? Do you want to eat some golden larva? All right, then, okay, so we've got day token, night token, and then we've got, flip inserts. That makes sense. You know what? It's good that they include that in these kits. So, let us move forwards. That's just the arena code. Hey, look at this little bat divider. That's all right. No, it's okay. It's just the one side. All right, and then we've got 6 fat boosters of Crimson Vow. So let's dive in and see what we got. Try and keep a singular thing on the screen because sometimes when I do these opening videos, the focus is really bad. And one of the things I like about these pre-release kit openings is it's time to appreciate the comments. Because normally when I do spoiler videos, we're focusing mostly on rares. So, Fear of Death. 1 blue and 1 for an enchant creature that says, when Fear of Death enters the battlefield, mill 2 cards. Enchanted creature gets -X/-0, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. Alright, so I mean, this is an interesting take on the blue, making your opponent's creatures smaller and doing it via mill. And the artwork is pretty wild. You got a Geist with chains and circling buddy down here. Not too shabby. If you're somebody who only cares about the rares in the pack, then at the end of the video, I'll show you all the rares together, alright? But I like to take my time and go through these cards, because this is my first time seeing a lot of these comments, it feels like. 1 white and 3 for a 4/2 known as the Estwald Shield Basher. It's a human soldier. Whenever it attacks, you can pay 1 mana. If you do, it gets indestructible until end of turn. Flavor text says, the door to her home survived the fires of the Malignus. Now it's her greatest weapon. That's hilarious. It's like, you know what? My door held up to this, so I'm literally going to make a shield out of my door. In draft, this might not be too shabby. Or sealed, right? Because it's indestructible. That's not too shabby. You only have to pay 1 mana to make it indestructible when you're swinging with it. All right. And the artwork shows literally shield bashing going down hardcore, so that works. You're like a vampire, or is that a zombie? You've got zombies just clinging to the door here. It's covered in spikes. That's super intense. I like it. Then we got Reckless Impulse. 1 red and 1 for a sorcery. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Oh, Interesting. So instead of having a red spell where you have to discard and then draw, you've got a scenario now where you're just exiling the cards, but you only get to use them on the same turn. Flavor text says, a Stitcher looks at their creation and sees the result of years of study and hours of toil. A devil sees a new plaything. Oh no, Mr. Devils, they're gonna smash up your toys. Although it does kind of feel like that. Anyways, moving on. Scattered Thoughts. 1 blue and 3 instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of those cards into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Stitchers delegate the most important tasks to assistants with a good eye for detail. I do like that. That's fun, right? We've got a homunculus with a gigantic eye. So a good eye for detail. You only need one. You only need one good eye. Although, look at this, man. You got a smashed up jar here. Literally scattered thoughts. That's some fun flavor. Then we've got Nature's Embrace, getting hugged by nature. 1 green and 2, enchant a creature or a land. If you put it on a creature, it gets +2/+2. And if you put it on a land, the land taps to add 2 of any color. And then the artwork shows what looks like a statue of a dryad with crazy magic emanating out of her hand and this green ray of light coming down. Pretty funky. After that, aim for the head. 1 black and 2 sorcery. Choose 1. Exile a zombie, or target opponent exiles 2 cards from their hand. Oh, wow, okay. They're taking card discard to the next level, eh? You can pitch 2 cards. You can make them pitch 2 cards exile instead of to the graveyard, or you can smoke a zombie with it. Not too shabby. Flavor text says, works every time. And you can see the zombie who's just got there. They go, oh, wait a minute. Oh, this means I'm done, isn't it? Honored Heirloom. 3 mana for a crazy prismatic Avacyn symbol. It taps for a mana of any color, or 2 and tap it, exile target card from a graveyard. That's a pretty solid mana rock. After the travails, Runechanter set about repairing twisted symbols of Avacyn as the first step in restoring faith in the church. That makes sense. It's alright. Spore Crawler. 1 green and 2 for a 3/2. When it dies, draw a card. Remember to come back in a few years when that fungus has died off. Then we'll see what's in the chest. So it's like, hey, look at the crazy spore. But you know what? We're going to wait a few years until that's gone. We'll come back and figure out what's going on. And that's how the whole concept of draw a card is. It's like, there's some good stuff under that fungus. Then we got Desperate Farmer. 1 black and 2 for a 2/2 lifelink. Whenever another creature you control dies, transform it. A tragic moment pushed him to a blasphemous act. Oh, the farm's horse is gone. What shall I do? I shall become a Doom Rider. Depraved Harvester. 4/3 lifelink. Once he's tasted that dark power, there was no turning back. Shouldn't he be like a necromancer or something? It looks like he animated his own horse, right? Pretty nuts. Then we got Resistance Squad. 1 white and 2 for a 3/2. When Resistance Squad enters the battlefield, if you control another human, draw a card. It's not that I didn't expect some defiance, but I did hope it wouldn't be so heavily armed. Olivia's just like, get out of here. Stop trying to ruin my wedding, people. And there you have some wedding ruiners leaping through the windows with swords and stuff. We are here to resist you. We got Angelic Quartermaster next. 2 white and 3 for a 3/3 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures. That works. It shows literally 2 +1/+1 counters being delivered in the form of swords by the angel. Then we've got Brine Comber. Oh, weird. 1 blue, 1 white, and 1 for a 1/1 spirit. When it enters the battlefield or becomes the target of an aura spell, create a 1/1 spirit creature token with flying. And then it's got Disturb, so you can cast it transformed. Ooh, what's the other side? Brinebound Gift. It's an aura. Enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield or enchanted creature becomes the target of an aura spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. And if it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Okay, that's alright. Not super exciting, but not terrible. Oh, we got the fat legendary slug! Toxrill the Corrosive. This guy's awesome. 2 black and 5 gets you a 7/7. At the beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on all your opponent's creatures. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 for each of these slime counters. And whenever a creature you don't control that has slime counters on it goes to the graveyard, you get a 1/1 black slug token. Plus, you can play a black and a blue, sack a slug, draw a card. Man, I wish this was the kid I was playing with on the weekend. And then you got Toxrill, the big gross slug man right there. Pretty nutty. Oh, wow, look at that. That looks great. Man, I love these black and white lands. So nice. Oh, we got a foil. Traveling Minister. 1 white for a 1/1 human cleric. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. You gain 1 life. Activate only as a sorcery. That's solid, man. We recently got a creature that's just 1/1 tap to gain a life. Adding the +1/+0 and feels strong. Priests of the Sigardan sect travel to the farthest reaches to spread hope and healing, even in the darkest times. And it looks pretty straightforward. You got a cleric with his censer, all the holy smokes flowing out. It'll beef you up and give you life. I'd like some of that. Then we got, oh, wow, whoa. Look at this spirit token. This is amazing. Dude, I have never seen this. That's awesome. You've got crazy light flowing up out of the cowl. You've got this sort of like what is it? A mace, like almost like a ball and chain style, except you have the holy symbol of Avacyn as the actual head of this flail. This is cool, man. That looks awesome. And then we got one of those blanks. One of them blanks. Okay, so that was the first pack. That was a juicy one. I liked it. So far, so good. This is getting me amped up for the pre-release, my friends. All right, so what do we got? We got Sigarda's Imprisonment. 1 white and 2 for an enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. 5 mana, exile enchanted creature. And this is showing Sigarda being held for the wedding in some pretty amazing art. I love that. Okay, then we've got Hungry Ridgewolf. 1 red and 1. As long as you control another wolf or werewolf, Hungry Ridgewolf gets +1/+0 and has trample. All right, so, sorry. This is, 2 mana. It can be a 3/2 and have trample. That's not too shabby. All you have to do is have another wolf. Even vampires know to travel faster when they hear howling and the Gyre Reach passes. Because there's lots of wolves. Whoa, look at the artwork, man. Look at that crazy ridge on its back. It's like, oh, my hair stands up extra firm when other wolves are around. Let's get it. Then we got Stitched Assistant. 1 blue and 2 for a 3/2 zombie with Exploit. Exploit allows you to sack a creature. If you do, then if you've exploited it, you get to scry 1 and draw a card. So overall, in a draft limited format, doesn't feel too shabby. And it's pretty intense. The idea of being operated on by a zombie assistant is pretty terrifying. Then we've got Supernatural Rescue. 1 white and 3 for an aura. This spell has flash as long as you control a spirit. When you cast a spell, tap up to 2 target creatures you don't control. Enchanted creature gets +1/+2. So ultimately disappointing in constructed, but could definitely make a difference if you're playing draft, right? Or sealed. And the artwork shows literally like a spirit saving somebody from a sword. It's like, you don't got to worry, person in the background. I'm going to stop it single palm style. Not too shabby. Then we got Sheltering Boughs. 1 green and 2 for an enchantment that says enchanted creature gets +1/+3, and when this enchantment enters the battlefield, you draw a card. That is solid. That's solid. And you've got somebody who's literally being sheltered by the boughs of trees, and they have this like inviting warmth of light here as well. Digging it. Then Grisly Rituals next. 1 black and 5 for a sorcery, destroy target creature or planeswalker, create 2 blood tokens. 6 mana is a lot, but you know what? In a sealed style setup, that could be all right. The artwork's pretty nuts. You can always tell who's new from the scream. Who wouldn't scream? Look at that. This guy is exploding into a gigantic fountaining mist of blood that almost kind of looks like a rose in the middle. Crazy. Then we got Crushing Canopy. This is actually a reprint. 1 green and 2 for an instant. Choose 1, destroy a creature with flying or an enchantment. It's all right. It's the kind of card you're only going to play in these kind of formats. The flavor text says, the forests of this world are unafraid to assert themselves. And you can see the trees just getting ready to show this goose what's up. I hate geese. Okay. Honored Heirloom, we already saw you. What do we got here? Sell-Off Entomber. 1 blue and 1 for a 1/3. Tap it, discard a creature card to draw a card. You have to pitch a creature card specifically. It knows one fundamental truth. Bodies belong in graves. This one's okay, but still feels kind of limited. The artwork just shows a zombie who's like, I'm going to put you in your grave, boy. That's all I know how to do. Then we've got Kindly Ancestor. I love this card. 1 white and 2 for a 2/3 flyer with lifelink. It's an old lady, and she's knitting. She is knitting like a cloak, right? And she's got Disturb, so you can play her transform from your graveyard. And that's when you get her, like, Ancestor. So Ancestor's Embrace, and she's got this ghostly gossamer garment from her grandma draped around her. So the enchantment gives lifelink, and if it would be put into the graveyard, it gets exiled instead. Thank you, grandmother. I love you, too. It's like, it's so silly, but I just love it. Then we've got Ancient Lumberknot. 1 green, 1 black, and 2. That name, I don't know. 1/4 Treefolk. Each creature you control with toughness greater than its power assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Wow! That is a great use of that ability, where only creatures that have higher toughness benefit from that ability, and the rest get to use their regular power. I like that. The soft creak of trees in the wind is not always cause for comfort. Yeah, not when an ancient lumberknot's coming for you. Lumberknot! I don't know, it's cool. It sounds kind of like Juggernaut. Moving on. We got Dread Fugue. 1 black for a sorcery. Cleave. 1 black and 2. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it with mana value 2 or less. That player discards their hand. So basically, if you play it for 1, you get to pick a card that costs 2 or less. If you play it for 3, you can just pick a card from their hand and make them pitch it. That's alright. Artwork's not too shabby. This guy's like drifting away into smoke as shadowy hands reach for his mind. That's intense. Then we got Biolume Egg! 1 blue and 2 for a 0/4 Serpent Egg. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2, and when you sack it, you get to bring it back to the battlefield and transform it. The flavor text says, serpents lay their eggs in the cold and inky depths. And there's the egg right there. And then, ba-bam! This is what it turns into. Biolume Serpent. Look at it. It's like crawling up onto this rocky surface. 4/4, sack 2 islands. It can't be blocked this turn. Because it like climbs up out of the water. And it's like, I'm going to leap myself at this guy right here. I'm going to get me some. It's not too shabby. And we've got the rare is Hopeful Initiate. 1 white for a 1/2 with training. And pay 1 white and 2. Remove 2 +1/+1 counters from among creatures you control. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. I feel like this is a pretty solid card. And the artwork's awesome with this guy sitting in this circle of glowing candles. Looks pretty good. All right, and then we've got a nice looking plains and a boar token. Oh, look at you. You're a hairless boar, aren't you? And then another one of those flipper inserts. So let's move on to the next booster pack. This is so getting me hyped, my friends. I know it takes me a while to go through these cards, but I like to enjoy the cards. 1 white and 3 for a 2/3 flying bird. If you would gain life, you gain that much +1 instead. This is an ability that's becoming more and more relevant. And 1 white and 1 the heron gains lifelink till end of turn. All right, not too shabby. The artwork literally shows a heron. You're gonna get smacked by the trees, bro. Then we've got Hungry Ridgewolf, we saw you. Dreadlight Monstrosity, 2 blue and 4 for a 5/5 with Ward 2, and pay 5. Dreadlight Monstrosity can't be blocked this turn. Activate only if you have a card in exile. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. Look at the artwork. It's a crazy, gigantic, horrific crab with like a lighthouse on its back or something. That's awesome. That's so flavorful. Cigar's Imprisonment, we saw you. Pointed Discussion. 1 black and 2 sorcery. You draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, then create a blood token. Man, that's pretty solid. 3 is a lot, but still. Small Talk is a dying art. It's like, all right, we're having a pointed discussion. I'm going to point this in your neck, buddy. Bramble Armor. 1 green and 1. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+1 and equips for 4. I mean, the fact that it attaches right away makes it okay, but ultimately this isn't an exciting card. The artwork looks funky, though. Imagine fashioning armor like this out of brambles. It's nutty. Then we got Voldarin Epicure. 1 red for a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and create a blood token. If you're not refining your tastes, what's the point of living forever? That actually is a great attitude for a vampire to take. Come on now. What's going on here? Whoop. Focus in, please. I just shook the camera a little bit and it like lost the frame. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now we're back. All right, good. I think I got caught on the background. So, Militia Rallier. 1 white and 2 for a 3/3. Can't attack alone. Whenever it attacks, untap target creature. So this is, we can wait like helpless children for a hero, or we can gather our courage and be the heroes. Who's with me? I mean, that's all right. It's all right. It can't swing by itself, but when you do swing with it, you can put another creature up for defense. Then we got Weary Prisoner, 1 red and 3 for a 2/6 defender with Daybound. Your guard attacked me. He got what was coming to him. You can see him. He's all tied up and imprisoned, but wait! Ba-bam! Never mind. Now he's coming tearing out of the gates. This actually makes me think of the 7 Deadly Sins anime. All right, that's totally the vibe that it gives me. And now I'm coming for you when Ban just stays in prison. And when he wants out, he's just like, I'm leaving now. All right, then we've got Groom's Finery. 1 black and 1 for equipment that says equipped creature gets +2/+0. It gets an additional +0/+2 and has Death Touch as long as an equipment named Bride's Gown is attached to a creature you control. So this is part of a matching set. Ultimately, it's like all right. If you have both out, then it could be pretty good. But this is not going to be tearing it up in standard, right? I do like the fact that his finery is displayed in a coffin. Then we've got Arm the Cathars. 2 white and 1 for a sorcery. Until end of turn, target creature gets +3/+3. Up to one other target creature gets +2/+2. And up to one other target creature gets +1/+1. They all gain vigilance until end of turn. All right, I mean, if you have 3 creatures out, this is +6/+6, right? And makes all your guys vigilant. That's not too shabby. Well, the ones that are targeted. Faith is a Cathar's greatest weapon, but a Sword of Blessed Silver is a close second. Yeah, fair enough. Then we've got Restless Bloodseeker. 1 black and 1 for a 1/3. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, create a blood token. Sack 2 blood tokens, transform it. Activate that only as a sorcery. So, on the front side, you've got this vampire is like, look at me, I'm so emo at the party, I'm gonna drink some blood. And then he turns into Blood-Soaked Reveler, but I saw the card behind it. Oh, this is a juicy mythic. Anyways, Blood-Soaked Reveler, 3/3 vampire. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, create a blood token for 5 mana, Each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. This can be pretty good in formats where things are going slow. Not going to matter in standard, but if you're in a landlocked kind of game, not landlocked, like board locked, where everybody has a bunch of creatures you can't swing through, this is going to do it for you. And he looks pretty intense here. And then we've got Sorin the Mirthless, looking all emo, leaning. I'm going to lean against the wall at a party and look at my cell phone. You know, a bunch of people have said that. Yeah, I mean, he does have, it's wine, right? But it's just funny that he does look like he has his cell phone. 2 black and 2, 4 loyalty, legendary Sorin Planeswalker. +1, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card, put it into your hand. If you do, lose life equal to its mana cost. -2, make a 2/3 black vampire creature with flying and lifelink. -7, 13 damage to any target. You gain 13 life. Really, really good card. And a really nice pull as well. Then we've got a gorgeous looking Plains. And, ooh, foil rare! Foil Dominating Vampire. 2 red and 1 for a 3/3 vampire. When it enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature with mana value less or equal to the number of vampires you control until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste. All right, pretty good. The artwork looks funky too. It's kind of a little hard to make out on the camera because of the foiling, but still, looks good. I like it. And then you've got, oh, this is the human soldier token with training. Oh. Look at that. Pretty dark, though. The artwork is really dark, and it's not just the camera. Like, I'm looking at this off camera, and it's really dark. I feel like, what are they trying to do? Emulate Game of Thrones? We're going to make stuff too dark to see? Come on. I'm here to see the coolness, all right? Speaking of which, let's keep moving on. We've been getting some good pulls so far, right? All right, so what do we got next? We've got... Come on. Oh, I almost knocked my microphone over. Ancestral Anger. 1 red for a sorcery. Target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0 till end of turn, where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard. Oh, they're going with that concept. Interesting. And you draw a card. Huh. So, I mean, this could be all right. 1 vampire for every family member I've lost. All right. Fair enough. Then we've got Serpentine Ambush. 1 blue and 1 instant. Until end of turn, target creature becomes a blue serpent with base power and toughness 5/5. Cool. You just like polymorph one of your guys short term into a gigantic sea serpent. The merchant did guarantee the new bait would bring in something big. Bad deal, man. Wrong bait, bro. All right. Then we got a Griff Rider. 1 white and 2 for a 2/1 flyer with training. And keep your heels down. And bend at the hips as your mount takes flight. She'll do the rest. Oh, instructions on how to fly a Griff. Griffs are pretty crazy looking, you know? It's like, I guess it's supposed to be a different kind of variation of Hippogriff. Then we've got Bloody Betrayal. 1 red and 2 for a sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Create a blood token. All right. I mean, it doesn't super excite me. It's just one of the standard, let me borrow one of your creatures for a turn card, but you get a blood token. You can see that this guy's been maddened by something. He has been taken over by the blood petals. Then we got a Blood Fountain. 1 black for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, make a blood token. 1 black and 3, sack the fountain. Return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. There you go. So you can, it's like, we got so much extra blood. You want to go grab some bodies? We'll pour some blood into them, bring them back for the party, bro. After that, oh no, we've seen you. End the festivities. 1 red sorcery. End the festivities deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. When the defenses around Lurenbram Fortress faltered, the Crimson Ballroom receives some unexpected guests. Party's over! Werewolves jumping, wolves jumping through your window. Alright, we saw you before. Fearful Villager. 1 red and 2 for a 2/3 menace with Daybound. When Harold ran from the wolves, the others called him a coward. Run, Harold! I won't call you a coward, dude. What, you want to get eaten by wolves? Being afraid makes sense. Then we've got the Fearsome Werewolf. This is where now he's got menace and he's 4/3. Come nightfall, they were the one fleeing in terror. You laugh at me, huh? I'm back to eat you now, chumps. Alright, then we got Laid to Rest. 1 black and 3 for an enchantment. Whenever a human you control dies, draw a card. Whenever a creature you control the +1/+1 counter on it dies, you gain 2 life. We are not here to mourn their loss. We're here to celebrate their lives. Good mentality. I mean, ultimately, 4 mana feels like a lot for this. This doesn't feel like that great of a card. And the artwork, I'm not even sure what this is supposed to be. Is this like some gigantic area outside with a bunch of flower petals laid over it? For me, the concept on this one's a little bit muddy, but whatever. Then we've got Boarded Window. 3 mana artifact. Creatures attacking you get -1/-0. At the beginning of each end step, if you were dealt 4 or more damage this turn, exile Boarded Window. Oh, cool. That's a cool concept. The windows will keep you safe, but if there's enough damage being dealt, it's essentially like they busted through the window, and it won't protect you anymore. Sturdy Nails make for sound sleep. I mean, it doesn't feel like a magic item, right? Let's be real. Child of the Pack. 1 green, 1 red, and 2 for a 2/5 human werewolf. Pay 4 mana, make a 2/2 green wolf token. It's got Daybound. Her face shines with youthful innocence. All right, you got, oh yeah, look, it's like a little girl. It's almost like a little Red Riding Hood girl riding a wolf. That's cool. And then she turns into Savage Pack Mate. Oh, gigantic. 5/5 trample. Other creatures you control get +1/+0. Her claws are another matter. What? How does she get so big, dude? That's all right. I mean, that's kind of cool. Like a little kid who turns into a huge hulking werewolf is pretty intense. Then we've got Hannah and Elena, partners. Oh, this artwork is much better. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Yeah, there you go. This artwork is much better than the original artwork that they have in this set. This is good artwork. 1 green, 1 red, and 2 for a 2/3 legendary human ranger with first strike and reach. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X +1/+1 counters on another creature you control, where X is this creature's power. And that creature gains haste until end of turn. This is really solid. I like this. This is a good card. I mean, it's not like super powerful, but in especially in like a sealed or draft, you're going to do well with it. Oh, wow. Look at that island. It's so beautiful. Oh, man. What? That's awesome. Then we've got a foil Hook Hand Mariner. 1 green and 3, Daybound 4/4. The local gossips swore Nemeth lost his hands in a fight with a werewolf. Yeah, they're probably right. What are you doing, Nemeth? Oh, look, his shadow is a werewolf. Cool. And then, boom, flip it over. Rip Hook Raider. Oh, he's a werewolf with hooks for hands. They weren't entirely wrong, says the flavor text. And he's 6'4". He's a werewolf with hook hands. Yes. All right, then we've got a crazy-looking zombie token. Oh, it's star. It's like a big flesh amalgam. And then another one of those inserts. All right, we got 2 more packs to go here, and then we will have made it through this entire pre-release kit. Anybody who gets through this with me is a trooper. 1 blue and 4 for a 2/5 Nebelgast Beguila. 1 white, tap target creature. A moment of distraction, an hour off course. That's cool. A spirit that's got the capability to misdirect you. Oh, get entranced by me. And the 5, this is going to be annoying to play against, actually. Then we've got Flame Blessed Bolt. 1 red for an instant. 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. The flavor text says, I noticed you were short on party favors, so I brought my own. All right, get wrecked. That is an incredible party favor. A burning holy symbol. Correct. Then we've got Alchemist's Retrieval. 1 blue instant, cleave for 1 blue and 1. Return target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand, or if you paid, you basically bounce one of your permanents if you pay 1 blue. If you pay this instead, then bounce anybody's permanent instead. Flavor text says, to most, a terrifying apparition. To a necro-alchemist, a potent fuel source. And you can see, like, hey, look at me, I'm a ghost, I'm big and scary. Oh, no, wait, what are you doing? Don't Ghostbuster suck me into your vacuum. Adamant Will. 1 white and 1 instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains indestructible until end of turn. I refuse to die before I see the sun rise again. Now that is Adamant Will. Making yourself indestructible through the sheer force of your own will is awesome. Then we got Undying Malice. 1 black instant until end of turn. Until end of turn, target creature gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Few take kindly to being put in their place, especially if their place is the grave. Well, I mean, that makes sense. You can understand that. It's like, I don't want to die, Papa. I want to live again. All right, then we've got Flourishing Hunter. 2 green and 4 for a 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to the greatest toughness among other creatures you control. I would welcome her into my pack with honor. Funky. So you got this crazy, wolf spirit beast. Man, I'm getting, Princess Mononoke vibes off of this thing. That's cool looking, man. Nutty. All right, then we've got... Oh, we already saw you. Evolving Wilds. A land that taps to sack. Search your library for a basic land type of any type. Put it in battlefield tap, then shuffle. Flavor text says, spend too much time scanning the shadows for evil. You'll never see the beauty our world has to offer. Oh, Catilda. How right you are. Look at that vista. Very nice. Syncopate's in this set. Huh. 1 blue and X instant, counter target spell unless its controller pays X. If that spell's countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Fool! Can't you see the tide has turned against you? That artwork is incredible. You've got this mage in the sphere of force with lightning crackling off it like it's nothing. That is awesome. Then we've got Drogskull Infantry, 1 white and 1 for a 2/2 with disturb cost of 4. He swore to protect the moorlands. A little thing like death was no excuse to break his oath. You can see him here as a spirit soldier. And its other side, he comes back as Drogskull Armaments. He turns into an enchantment that gives an enchanted creature +2/+2. And if it goes to the graveyard, exile. When he could no longer carry on, he imparted his strength to one who took up his duty. Yeah! Awesome. I love it. That's cool. Then we've got Screaming Swarm, 1 blue and 5 for a 4/4 bird horror. Whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures, target player mills that many cards. 1 blue and 2. Put Screaming Swarm from your graveyard into your library second from the top. Oh, weird. It's like a never... Oh, what? Look at it. Oh, my God. It's got, tentacle face. Oh, dude. This is like a Cthulhu bird. That's insane. Oh, and there's a whole swarm of them. No wonder they end up milling and terrifying your brain. I'd lose my mind if a flock of these things flew down on me. That's terrifying. Then we've got Markov Purifier with the special frame. 1 black, 1 white, and 1 for a 2/3 lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, you can pay 2. If you do, draw a card. That's not too shabby. The fact that it's 2/3 lifelink means you're going to meet these conditions every time you swing with it. And then you can spend the 2 life you just got from him to draw the card. So that's not too shabby. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Then we've got Mischievous Catgeist. 1 blue and 1 for a 1/1 cat spirit. When it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Wow. It's got Disturb. I never get any knitting done, but I don't entirely mind. Oh, that's so cute. You got a little spectral cat here. And then Cat-like Curiosity. Oh, it's Cat's Cradle with spectral cat yarn. Enchanted creature has whenever this creature does combat damage to a player, draw a card. Dude, I'd put this in my cube. That's awesome. What a cool concept. The rare is Eruth. Tormented Prophet. 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 for a 2/4. If you draw a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library instead. You may play those cards this turn. She's cursed with visions of monsters and suffering, and all her visions come true. No, it's like Simon. You know what I draw comes true. Oh, look at this. You got all these demons flowing through the wall behind her. No wonder she's tormented. That's dark, man. I'd be crunching up in my bed too, grabbing my blanket like, no, I know what's going to happen and it's going to suck. Oh, yeah, look at this forest. Dark and scary and foreboding. Man, these black and white lands work real well for Innistrad. Then we've got an insect token looking way more intense than your normal 1/1 insect. This thing looks like a 3/3, like it could come galloping at you. And then another flip insert. So let's get into the final booster pack, my friends. Let us see what it has for us. All right. We've got Alchemist Retrieval. We saw you. We saw you. We saw you. Fear of Death. Did we see you? Yes, we did. Grizzly Ritual. Yep. Wow. Oh, Crushing Canopy. I was thinking to myself, man, we're not seeing a lot of duplicates, but then we got to this pack. All right. 2 black and 3 for a Rot-Tide Gargantua. What an evocative name. 5/4 Zombie Kraken with Exploit. When it exploits a creature, each opponent sacks a creature. Not too shabby. Now that it doesn't need to breathe, its hunting grounds extend well beyond the sea. Zombified Kraken that doesn't have to reside below the waves anymore. What an intense concept. Then we got Spore Crawler. We saw you. We saw you. Binding Geist. 1 blue and 2. 3/1. Whenever it attacks, target creature gets -2/-0. Okay. And y'all, you can see the Geist literally binding with chains here in the artwork. It's kind of dark though. And then the other side is Spectral Binding. Enchanted creature gets -2/-0. Okay, this is pretty underwhelming, but that's cool artwork. Then we've got Skulking Killer. 1 black and 3 for a 4/2 Vampire Assassin. When it enters the battlefield, target creature opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn if that opponent controls no other creatures. Oh, that's a cool concept. It's like, is this Skulker, where it's like, I'm only going to destroy somebody if nobody else is around. The flavor text says, Olivia set a few villages loose in the hedge maze as part of the evening's entertainment. Oh, okay. Well, that's not very nice. Screaming Swarm. Oh, that artwork. Insane. Oak Shade Stalker. 1 green and 2 for a 3/3 Human Ranger Werewolf. You may cast this spell as though it had flash if you pay 2 more to cast it, so 5 instead. It's got Daybound. He blends seamlessly into the forest, waiting silently for his prey. I mean, he is pretty well hidden. And then the other side is Moonlit Ambusher. 6/3 Nightbound. Even when he strikes, the only sound is the snap of jaws through bone. That's a pretty intense way to go. Oh, Bloodvial Purveyor, the guy who has updated wording. So 2 black and 2 for a 5/6 Flying Trampler. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player creates a blood token. Whenever Bloodvial Purveyor attacks, it gets +1/+0 for each blood token defending player controls. And that's until end of turn. They have errated this card to say that. The artwork shows a vampire floating up in the air going, I got tons of jugs of blood, bro. I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to keep giving them to you. Every time you do some cool magic trick, I'm like, nice trick, bro. Here's a jug of blood. What a funky concept. But a good card. I mean, not like super good, but, you know, I feel like if you were playing that draft seal, it'd be pretty strong. Oh, the swamp looks great. That's good. That's good times. And then we've got a red 3/2 wolf token looking near rabid. Dude, that's intense. And then another one of those. Okay, so I said that I would show all the rares at the end of the video, so let's do that. Let's put out the rares and the foils, okay? So, all right. Is that everybody? We didn't. Oh, no, that's a rare too, but whatever. I'll put it down here with the foils. Okay, so this is all. If you just flip to the end to see what there is: Hopeful Initiate, Bloodvial Purveyor, Eruth Tormentor Prophet, Halana and Elena, Sorin the Mirthless, Toxorol the Corrosive, and foils are Hookhand Mariner, Traveling Minister, and a rare Dominating Vampire. I hoped you enjoyed this journey. Oh, you know what? My bad. And a foil promo dig up. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this long and very talkative version of a pre-release kit opening. I'm super excited as well about the pre-release this weekend. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to leave a link to a very silly video from my other channel on the screen. Go and check it out. It's very funny and you will enjoy it. So, see you later, my friends!